Well, welcome. We're going to be talking today about exponents and order of operations. Don't let that scare you. Section 1-2. These are the building blocks that algebra, algebra 2, pre-calc, AP calculus, these are the building blocks for all levels of mathematics, being able to simplify expressions. And that's our objective today, is that you learn and understand what we call PEMDAS. I don't know if you've heard of that before, but PEMDAS, and that should ring a bell. PEMDAS. That's the order of operations. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I want you to go ahead and pause the video, try these 4 problems out, and then we'll talk about them in just a moment. Alright, so time back in for me. Order of operations says that I take 3 times 4, and I multiply the 3 times the 4 together first, which gives me 12, and then 12 plus 2 gives me 14. Okay. The next one, number 2, 3 times 4 plus 2. Well, here's the deal. 4 plus 2 is in parentheses, and the P in PEMDAS says we're supposed to deal with parentheses first. So in problem 2, we're going to take the 3, and we're going to multiply it by the 4 plus 2, which is 6. So we're going to do 4 plus 2 first, and we get 6. And 3 times 6, we know that that is 18. Okay, so number 3, now we don't have any parentheses here, and if we go left to right and do the 3 plus first, then, did I say 3 plus first? I think I did. 3 plus 4 first. That would be wrong because addition does not come before multiplication, so we have to multiply first. So if you're following the order of operations, then you're going to multiply 4 times 2 first, and you're going to get 3 plus 4 times 2, and 4 times 2 is 8, and 3 plus 8 is 11. Okay, so that might have tripped some of you up. It usually does catch a few people. And then finally, though, we would, in problem number 4, we would multiply, we would add 3 plus 4 first. 3 plus 4, we get 7. And then we're going to multiply times the 2 because 3 plus 4 is in parentheses, and we always do parentheses first. We simplify what's inside parentheses first, and we get 7 times 2 then is 14. Okay, so those are the 4 problems that hopefully you understand how to do now. And just quickly, we're going to look at PEMDAS. I want you to look at that PEMDAS. Hopefully you wrote it down. And then underneath PEMDAS, we're going to write what those mean. So, I'm going to write these down here like this. Parentheses. It's hard to write straight down like that. And then the E stands for exponents. Exponents. The M and the D stand for multiplication and division. Multiplication and then division, and then the A stands for addition, and the S stands for subtraction. Subtraction. Okay, well, here's the deal. Oops. When we're simplifying expressions, we have to follow the order of operations. And the order of operations is PEMDAS because we need an order in which we simplify expressions. Now the thing here is this. The M and the D, I want you to put dotted lines in between the E and the M and between the D and the A, and I'll explain that in a minute. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a couple more problems. So I would urge you to pause the video and see if you can figure out these problems based on what I just said. If you want to just play the video on the first one and watch that, then you can, and then try the other 2, but either way, I'm going to go ahead and get started. 12 times 2. Remember, PEMDAS says that multiplication and division we do left to right. 12 times 2 is 24. So I'm going to do that first, okay, because I only have multiplication and division, no parentheses, no exponents, and then multiplication and then division. 24 divided by 3, we know that that's 8. Okay. Now remember, PEMDAS, I'm going to write it again, PEMDAS, we did those dotted lines in between the E and the M and the D, because this really could be, and this is a good visual for you, this really could read PEDMOS, okay? Because the idea here is that from left to right, you first have to check off, did I simplify all the parentheses first? Yes, okay. Then, did I simplify all the exponents? Or if there are no parentheses and there are no exponents, then you go right to the multiplication and division. So when you're looking at an expression, you'll see a bunch of numbers separated by operations. Okay, so looking at this first example, we see a 12, then we see a multiplication symbol, then another number. Okay, then we see another symbol, and that is a division symbol, and then we follow that by another number. So we have all these numbers and then all these things in between them, and we have to know what to do first. Okay, so this second example, we see a number, and then a symbol, and then another number. Okay, we see no parentheses, we see no exponents. So if we're looking at PEMDAS, there's no parentheses, there's no exponents, and then we go to the next one. And we actually, in this case, we go to the next two. We go to multiplication and division. So that's what we have to do first. Either multiplication or division, whichever comes first as you go from left to right. So as you're looking from left to right, the first operation you come to is this guy right here. We have to do this first because it's division. I know it happens to be before the multiplication, but remember what I said. Down here, the D can come before the M. Okay, so when it's just multiplication division left, you do either one first, and you have to do the first one you come to as just like you're reading a book from left to right. So in other words, 12 divided by 2, we know that that's 6. Okay, and then we're going to get 6 times 3, we know to be 18. So the simplified version of this expression is 18. So this expression simplified is 18. We put a division symbol first. And then our third problem, if you wanted to do that on your own, noticing again the first operation we come to is division, and then the other one is multiplication. So we're going to go left to right. 12 divided by 3, that's 4. Oops, let's be consistent. 12 divided by 3 is 4, and then 4 times 2 is 8. So we have all three of those, 8, 18, and 8. And hopefully that helps. So what I want you to do before you come to class is I want you to write down, create one problem and to bring to class, or a discussion topic or something that you think is important. What is it? If you look at these two slides, you've got 4 examples here in the first slide, 3 examples in the other one. What is the most important thing to remember? We'll get into some parentheses and exponents while we're in class, but for right now, I want you to deal with the I lost my train of thought. I want you to, I can just trim this video.